Beautiful morning to you and welcome to the show. This is the newspaper review for today. I am Ayo and I will be reviewing with you today. But before we go into all that we have for you today, let's go on a quick break and we will be right back. Welcome back to the show. Today we have quite a number of headlines to be reviewed with you today. So we would like that you stay tuned with us as we dive into the headlines. The very first headline here says, Tinubu places 3 months ban on foreign trips for ministers and others. Very quickly, let's look at the news in details. President Bola Tinubu temporarily placed ban on ministers, heads of agencies, and other government officials from embarking on foreign trips that are public funded. The ban will last for 3 months in the first instance, and this ban will take off on the 1st of April 2024. Tinubu gave the directive in the letter of his chief of staff, Femi Gbajabiamila, addressed to the secretary to the government of the Federation, George Akume. Tinubu noted that government officials who intend to go for any public-funded international trips must seek and get presidential approval at least 2 weeks prior to embarking on any such trip, which must be deemed absolutely necessary. This is really a beautiful development on the part of the federal government, and this is exciting Nigerians that if truly they want the cost of governance to be reduced, it has to start from the top. And this is the results that Nigerians has been longing for. And Nigerians are using this time to commend the federal government for sticking to their word of cutting down the cost of governance from the very top. And we will see the others, the subordinates, we will see the effect of this cost of governance on the subordinates in government. And this is really a good one on Nigerians. Well, at the same time, Nigerians are asking that how will this new implementation of cutting cost of governance help in also curbing the case of insecurity in the country? How will this cutting down cost of governance help in curbing first insecurity? How will it help in bringing down the hardship and all the things that Nigerians are experiencing? At the same time, Nigerians are saying, why will the implementation of this cost of governance only last for 3 months? What happened to the rest of the month? What if after 3 months these people comply with these people comply with what the Mr. President has said, and after 3 months they waited till after 3 months and then continue with these foreign trips? What will become of the government's purse? What will become of the federal government's purse? So we are saying it shouldn't be something that will only take effect for only 3 months. Why can't it take effect for the rest of the Mr. President's tenure? But why can't it take effect till he will step down, all of that? These are the things that Nigerians are saying, that it should not be something that will only last for only 3 months. We want something that will last till a particular time, at least till his first tenure and all of that. Also, we are looking at the fact that this cost of governance will not only be limited to the ministers, government officials. We want to also see it taking effect in the life of Mr. President himself. Within these 3 months, is he giving us the guarantee that he also will not be traveling and going on tours overseas? So it shouldn't be limited to the ministers, shouldn't be limited to government officials, it shouldn't be limited to the MDAs. We also want to see all of this taking effect in Mr. President himself. Also, another thing to be considered again is the fact that if we are to cut down costs of governance and foreign trips has been cut out, can Mr. President as well cut out medicals that these government officials go for in the US? You know, they go they cannot patronize the government sectors the medical sectors, the hospitals that we have in the country. They are not, even Mr. President himself, they are not patronizing the health sector. That's the word, the health sector we have in the country. In as much as they are trying to cut costs of governance, cutting foreign trips, especially those that are public funded, they should as well extend their ends to patronizing the health sectors that we have in the country. This will interest us, it will make it interesting that really, if we want to cut down the cost of governance, it should start from the top, and we want to see our leaders patronizing the health sectors that we have in the country. We don't want to, because usually we know their next move, we know their next point of action. They are not going on foreign trips. At the same time, they will say they are having toothache and they need to go and extract their tooth in the abroad. They will say they have a conference. We saw what happened. We saw what the Accountant General of the nation did weeks back, where they went ahead to have a conference, a 4 hours conference in the abroad. And you know, even though this has been a part of the budget before things became as it is, we were not expecting the Accountant General of the Federation to go ahead to go ahead with that conference. So in as much as we are trying to cut down the cost of governance, some of these other things should also be looked into. First off, it shouldn't be limited to just 3 months. What happened to the rest of the month? Also, what if they wake up one day and say they are having toothache and they want to go and extract their tooth in the country? This also should be looked at. We don't want something that will only last for 3 months. We want something that will last till a certain time. And also, Mr. President said they should give him, if at all they want to go on any foreign trips, it should be given a 2-week notice, depending on the importance of whatever it is they want to go and do. I think, I personally feel like the Mr. President shouldn't have given them such option of 2-week notice. They would have come together and look at a package, a well tailored and tangible reason why they want to go for these foreign trips, and Mr. President would buy into this. So I personally think he should not have given them the option of them giving him a 2 weeks ultimatum before they will embark on these foreign trips. Let's stick to what he has said. What he has said is that no minister or any government official is permitted to go on any foreign trips for 3 months, which is starting up on the 1st of April. We should stick to it instead of giving them option. And also, this issue of traveling or no traveling should start off first with Mr. President. In as much as the government officials will abide by what he has said, Mr. President himself should stick to the fact that he is not leaving the country for the next 3 months. And let's see how this will help the costs of governance. And this will lead us to the second headline that we have to be reviewed with you today. And it says, OT commissions 30-kilometer road for rehabilitation. Very quickly, let's look at the news in details. So as we all know, this same OT, Governor Oti of Abia State, he was the one that also, it was in this same state that they've stopped pension for ex-governors. And this is really a good development for the country, not just the country, but for the state as a whole. And Abia State is now the center of attraction. Abia State is now a place where virtually everyone wants to go to have their business and all of that. Also, another thing that one of the things that we are considering is the fact that since let's first of all let's pick the story on Abia Assembly stop pension for ex-governors. This is really an interesting story. Why? Because first, if we are to consider the amount of money that these governors are entitled to while they are in position, if we are to consider the allocation on health, on the allocation on official cars and everything all through their 4 years tenure, we still see that as soon as these people leave office, they contest for Senate position, they go ahead to further their career, yet they are still collecting pension for as an ex-governor. So we love this development. At the same time, another thing to be considered is that is this going to be something that will only last for Oti's tenure as the governor of Abia State, or can this thing be implemented for life, not only in Abia State, not only in that state, but let's look into it as in this in each state. Why should governors be entitled to pension despite the amount of allocations they have to themselves? And it is not like as soon as they leave office they stop working. They contest for other positions, yet allocations are being given to them in this other position. So why should they still be entitled to pension as an ex-governor? So this is a good development on the part of the Abia State government, and we look forward to more and more things happening in Abia State. And Abia State is now the a state that a lot of people want to be reckoned with. We saw the case of a man who has lost his family for a very long time, and he is in the abroad, and he said he's from Abia State and all of that. Why? Probably if there had not been any developments in Abia State, he would not have want to be known with that particular state. And this Abia State has served as a point of attraction, one, for a whole lot of states, and as Abia State is also an example, that's the word, to a whole lot of states to learn from. If we can have visionary leaders that are proactive in handling issues, leaders that are concerned about serving the people and not to be served, the country will become a better place. So we give thumbs up to the government of Abia State, and this will lead us to the next headline to be reviewed with you today, and it says slain soldiers will receive national honors and befitting burial. Very quickly, let's look at the news in details. President Bola Tinubu promised that the slain soldiers will receive a befitting burial as well as a national honor. President Bola Tinubu on Wednesday said the slain military personnel in Okwama, a community in Ughelli South, local government area of Delta State, will be conferred with national honors. He disclosed this at the breaking of the Ramadan fast on Wednesday in Abuja with the Speaker of the House of Representatives, Tajuddin Abbas. The leadership of the House, the President said, while oversight is essential for maintaining transparency and accountability in governance, excessive summoning of officials can disrupt operations and hinder service deliveries to the citizen. Addressing the gathering, the Commander-in-Chief commiserated with the military and the families of the deceased. assuring that the dead victims would also get what it described as a befitting burial. It therefore urged lawmakers to show discretion in the exercise of their oversight function. It is so sad that we lost 16 soldiers to the the killing at Delta State. And it is so sad that none of the perpetrators of this evil has been brought to book. And even if they are the ones to go after the perpetrator of this evil, it is obvious that a lot of innocent lives will go to it. But at the same time, um, we also know that the community, the Okwama community, was raised down a day or two after the killing of these soldiers, in which the military said they were not the one that raised down this community in retaliation for what has been done to these fallen soldiers. And it is so sad. But here is Mr. President saying that these fallen soldiers will be honored and given befitting burial. It is so sad that if this such a case like this, an incident like this can happen to soldiers, people who we expect to safeguard our life, people who we expect to keep us safe, protect us. If this is done to people like this, then what is the assurance that other civilians are safe? And we will keep you informed on the latest development. We'll keep giving you updates on the follow up of the story, whether or not the perpetrators of this evil are brought to book. And this will lead us to the last headline to be reviewed with you today. And this is a case that has been ongoing in the state for about 2 weeks now. The Kaduna State students that were kidnapped, and it is sequel to the kidnap of those 287 Kaduna State students. Were made to understand that 15 other persons were kidnapped, still in the same Kaduna State. 2 days ago, we made to understand that 87 other people were kidnapped in the same Kaduna State. At the same time, we should not forget the fact that the kidnappers of the 287 Kaduna State students made a demand of 1 billion naira, and they gave the federal government a 20 days ultimatum for this ransom to be paid, else these children will be killed. And this is a reminder to all Nigerians that it's been 6 days already in which these people gave the federal government this ultimatum, and we have less than 15 days to go for this ransom to be paid. And we are left between the option whether the federal government will negotiate with these kidnappers, or they will go to the den of these kidnappers in full force, or whatever it is that the federal government is doing at the moment. But in the course of the investigation of this case, the defense headquarters said kidnapped student has been kept in a place that they could not reach. And according to General Buba, he said the location where these children has been kept is hidden to them. But at the same time, we should look at the fact that these kidnappers are placing a call through. They placed a call through to demand for 40 trillion naira and the e-locks they demanded for in the first place. At the same time, they placed a call through to demand for 1 billion naira and also to give this 20 days ultimatum. First question, why can't all of these things be traced? Why can't the call be traced? Or should we say the defense headquarters, the security sector in our country are not working on using advanced technology to detect where these people are? That is the first question. At the same time, we do not have enough information, according to General Buba, who said the location of these children cannot be disclosed yet, and virtually all the things that the security personnel are putting in place to ensure that these children are brought back, or not just the children, all of the people that has been kidnapped in Kaduna State, that they cannot disclose all the things they are doing on the background, probably for safety measures. But we will keep you we'll keep you updated on all that is coming out of this case. And this will bring us to the end of the newspaper review for today. Thank you all so much for staying tuned with us till this time. Before we leave the studio, we would like that you follow us on all our social media platforms. On Facebook, we are Prime Media TV. On Instagram, we are Prime Media Studio. And on TikTok, we are definitely Prime Media Studio. You can as well follow us on the website at enginespeak.com. And also you can follow us on YouTube at Engine Speak. Once again, I am Ayo. Until I come your way again, do have a great day.